We have possibly a generational talent at the skill positions in this draft, and it comes from the tight end position. I'm talking about Noah Fant of Iowa. We're going to be looking under the hood at the former Hawkeye as we proceed with our 2019 NFL Draft Profile Series right here on DynastyLeagueFootball.com.
The NFL Draft Profile Series, NFL prospects, break it down, let's get it. People's pen and the gridiron scholar, time to do it major. Let's see who running the field, let's analyze the data. Yeah, let's go.
John, I feel like in the last few years we've seen more and more attention paid to the tight end position as some of these guys become bigger and stronger and seemingly more athletic. Noah Fant is the next specimen to enter this discussion. I know you're really big on the Iowa product, tight end university, if you will, when you look at Iowa. What are some of the things you like so much? And do you think that it's worth investing a high draft pick in, whether a real world environment or a fantasy setting?
Andy, I try not to get giddy when I see prospects perform at the combine, but I'm a little giddy about Noah Fant. I loved his film work and his production before the combine. When I saw his athletic ability and the scores that he posted, he's Evan Ingram and Mike Gesicki, and I think he's better than both of those players. He is my number one prospect on the board, and I am in a dynasty league in which I inherited a team, and I have the first pick in the draft, and I have no tight ends. I mean, I'm looking at Jared Cook is the best tight end, and he's getting old in a dynasty league. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that Noah Fant falls to me with the first pick in the second round. That's how much I like this young man. And I clearly think he's worth a first-round pick in the NFL draft. Now, in high school, he played basketball and participated in track as a sprinter. And he also was a triple and high jumper. And all of those came out, that athletic ability, at the combine. Among tight ends, he finished first in the 40, the three-cone drill, the broad jump, and the vertical jump. This is an extraordinarily talented athletic prospect. He was third in the 20-yard shuttle. I really like his ability and his production that I've seen, and then to see those scores at the combine. Now, in 2018, he was all Big Ten first team, All-American third team, and John Mackey Award semifinalist. In 2017, he was all Big Ten third team after leading the nation in touchdowns with 11 and yards per catch with 16.5 among tight ends. That's a terrific number for a tight end, everyone. He scored 19 career touchdowns, which are the most by a tight end in school history and third best all time in the Big Ten. Hey, we have a nice, perfect merge of film, production, and athletic ability of this young man from tight end U. In his career, he has 78 career receptions. He averaged over 13 yards per reception, and he had a team target share from the tight end, in which he had another dominant tight end on the team. He had 17% market share. I love it. As I mentioned, he knocked it out of the ballpark with all of the combine scores in the 40-yard dash, the three-cone drill, and the 20-yard shuttle. He's 6'4" and 249 pounds. He's a freakish athlete with premier pass-catching skills. They played in an NFL-style offense, and they also went up-tempo to create mismatches in their two tight end formations. He was also employed all over the field, in the slot, outside, H-back, and your traditional inline blocker. He's got terrific short area quickness, and he easily creates separation immediately. He's got length, acceleration, and speed to excel in the middle of the defense. He's a solid route runner. He attacks defenses down the seam, and he tracks the ball well. He outruns most linebackers and safeties. He owns natural and soft hands. He's graceful in the open field and creates yards after the catch. What I like about him, when you watch him on film, he digs passes out low, and he skies high also. I have a first-round grade on him. I'm really giddy about him. I like this man a ton, especially in a fantasy scoring system where he can come into the NFL and he might catch between 50 and 60 passes immediately as a rookie, depending on the system. Andy, what do you see in Noah Fant?
Well, he's got big, inviting hands. He's a rare blend of size and athleticism. He's not the best blocker. It's almost like he outruns his assignments, though, because of that speed that we see. He's not the best ball tracker, but he makes it happen. For comparison, Eric Ebron didn't do drills at his combine, but O.J. Howard's numbers were a 4.5 140, 22 reps on the bench, and a 6.85 recone drill. That's basically what we saw from Fant. Now, there are other examples of players, but I think these are the types of freak specimens we're discussing in the same breath as Fant. The main difference is that Fant is a better receiver than those guys naturally, as well as right now. if you're drafting him, you're taking him to be a matchup problem for defenses. And in that regard, he can come in and win from day one. I don't think he's ready to handle the blocking assignments right away, but he's definitely adequate enough to get by, especially knowing the mismatch he can create for your offense by being on the field. I personally would have a hard time taking a tight end so high. The majority fail to meet those expectations. Plus, the depth of the talent in this class alone makes me think I can wait on the position. But someone is going to fall in love with the weapon they see him becoming, and rightfully so. Now, he had just 61 and 51 targets in each of the past 2 seasons, but a large part of that was because of his equally talented teammate at the same position in TJ Hawkinson, who had 63 and 30 in that same period. So they basically ate into each other's production. But again, this was tight end university, so it's hard to argue that Fant was missing out on production because he didn't deserve it. It's just there was an equally good player at the same position at the same time. Now, I do think he can handle a much larger workload and be that 75-plus reception type of player on an annual basis in the NFL. That would make him a prime target for fantasy purposes and essentially a top 3 to 5 tight end going forward at the pro ranks, especially for fantasy. John, I love what you said, that he could come in and win from day one with as many as 50 receptions in his rookie year. I don't think that's absurd at all to say. I'm normally shy when it comes to tight ends in any environment. As I mentioned, most of the round 1 grades that are, the guys that get drafted in the first round in the NFL, it's usually the second and third round guys that we see become the studs and the stars. So I'm a little hesitant, especially knowing how deep this class is. But it's hard to argue because Fant is just that different type of player. He comes in as a receiver from day one, and he's going to win there, and he's going to be a mismatch nightmare. So I would feel safe in taking Fant. I think he's probably going to go as high as 5th in dynasty drafts this year, and I don't think that's a bad position for him to be in. Let us know, though, what do you think? How would you be feeling about him in your draft? Where are you looking to get him? Where are you looking to target him? Leave it in the comments below. We appreciate you checking us out. John's other work can be found on footballdiehards.com. You can check out a whole host of other great articles and content, as well as podcasts, right here on dynastyleaguefootball.com. And for advanced metrics, such as the targets I was referring to, you can go to expandtheboxscore.com, my newly launched website, for that information. Thanks for checking us out today. Hope you enjoyed, and go check out all the other players we've covered so far in our 2019 NFL Draft video profile series.